Thank you.
Distinguished representative of Advocates for Human Rights.
Madam President, the Advocates for Human Rights welcomes the outcome of the UPR Belarus and commends the government for supporting 10 recommendations on domestic violence. We are concerned, however, that domestic violence remains a problem in Belarus. In 2018, 1 out of 3 women murdered were killed by family members. Domestic violence is not a crime, and the President has vetoed stronger legislation. Victims face many barriers. Victims may not report abuse for fear their children will be taken away. Accountability is weak as police often detain perpetrators for only a few days. Laws create obstacles for women to divorce their abuser if they are pregnant or have a child in common under 3. Protective orders last only 3 to 30 days. A victim must also experience 2 acts of violence within a single year before the court can issue a protective order. Emergency orders do not exist. It takes 3 days to issue a protective order, during which time the victim is unprotected and vulnerable. Victim services are inadequate. There are only 5 private shelters and a shortage of state-sponsored crisis rooms for a population of 9 million. A victim must have a referral to access these facilities. We are also concerned about human rights abuses following the 2020 presidential elections. Women detained following the election experienced sexual violence, threats of violence, and verbal abuse. Further, the government targeted several women human rights defenders. We offer the following recommendations. Amends the criminal code to criminalize domestic violence, including breach of a protective order, and make these crimes subject to public prosecution. Allow victims to apply for emergency protective orders. Increase access to shelters and crisis rooms for all victims by removing the referral requirements and by providing adequate funding. Take steps to ensure protection of freedom of expression and freedom from arbitrary deprivation of their liberty for women human rights defenders. Thank you.